Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, just Daf It. Daf Yomi Share. We're learning Kesubos, Daf Lamed Beis, number 32. Hope everyone had a great Shabbos, great Tisha B'Av. Happy Tisha B'Av. This year was really a happy Tisha B'Av. Shabbos. Yesterday it wasn't so great. I woke up to a siren in the morning, so got me out of bed in the morning. Here in Israel, there was a conflict in Gaza, and apparently shot one in the area over here. For those people who haven't been in Israel during a siren, it's not exciting. It's not fun. It's a little traumatic. It's very traumatic, actually. The first time that I heard, I think it was like 80 years ago, before I made Aliyah. I was learning here in Israel for the summer. It was a war, 2014. Got the name Operation. Got the name Suk Eitan, I think it was called. That was like a 3-week war. I was in Beitar at the time. It was kind of scary. And then last year there was a war for like 11 days. That was also kind of scary. Waking up on Tisha B'Av morning to a siren. I don't have a miklat. I don't have a shelter right next to me. You just have to go into the hallway, sort of. You know what's gonna happen. It's pretty scary, but you get used to it. My cousin. I have a cousin who was he was pretty high up in the Israeli military. He says to his wife when the siren goes off, "Don't wake me up." He's used to it. He just most of the Israelis. My brother-in-law, he grew up in Israel. He's like 23 years old. Thought it was funny that I was like so, I guess, frantic, but I was trying to get all my kids together to the hallway. 4 little kids. It wasn't easy to get them. You hear the siren, you have like 30 seconds. You have to get out of bed, get to the hallway. All your kids. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Tisha B'Av morning to hear a siren. It actually kind of makes the day more meaningful to hear a siren on Tisha B'Av, but scary stuff. But those who say that Israelis are giving up in the ceasefire. They're always giving on to the ceasefire. They always, they pummel the other side, and then they want a ceasefire. Israel gives it, and then they don't respect it. And 2 weeks later, 2 months later, they start shooting rockets again. I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, I hear both sides. They should. I don't know if there's a way that you could just stop them from sending rockets. They're always going to want to send rockets. I don't think that'll be peace between them and Gaza. Maybe between the Palestinians, on the West Bank maybe, but the Fatah ruling group as opposed to Hamas. But Hamas wasn't even involved in this war. But it's just like it's inevitable. These things happen, and on the one hand, you say why ceasefire. On the other hand, it's kind of scary to live here. People shooting rockets at you and hearing sirens. So anyway, let's get on. Day's over. There was a ceasefire last night, as far as I know. So let's get into it. Get back to the daf. After 2 days hiatus, maybe there was a war because there's no daf yomi. That was a problem. All right. So we're at the bottom of Lamed Aleph and Beis, 31b on the bottom. The Mishnah mentioned at the beginning of Elenaros, mentioned that if you violate a nara, you're ma'anes. We'll see even in Mafati, you seduce a nara, a young maiden, you rape her, so you have to pay a knas. You have to pay 50 silver coins. Usually the father's alive. She's a Bulgarian, so you don't pay the money. But so even though technically I have malchus over here, because we're talking about, and the Mishnah is talking about cases not only Chayiv Lavin, but Chayiv Krisis also, at least Chayiv Lavin, Mazeres and the Sina, Chayiv Malchus, right? Chayiv Malchus. When you have Malchus and Mammon, it's for the Mishnah that you pay the Knas, you pay the Mammon, and ostensibly you don't get the Malchus. For a Minuhu, however, we have a Mishnah in Malchus, and Daf Yod Gimel, and a Lokin. These are Lokin, third parak of Malchus, Abala, Choso, Alchos, Aviv. You have relation to your sister, or your father's sister. Al-Achasima, your mother's sister. Al-Achas Ishto, your wife's sister. Al-Ishas Achiv, your brother's wife. Al-Ishas Achi Aviv, again, your aunt from your father's brother's wife. Al-Anida. All the cases listed on a Mishnah, the Kaimalan, the Ainalokim Mishalim, you get Malchus, and you don't you don't pay in that case. So why over there that we opt for malchus? Mishnah you get malchus. Here, there's cases, right? Yeah, I mean, it mentions chayve lav. It also mentions chayve krisos. The same case I mentioned in our Mishnah. In all those cases, you pay the knas. You don't get malchus. Amar Ula, how do you resolve the question? Lokash, kama chosa nara, kama chosa bogeres. One case, here we're a Mishnah, when she's a nara, so therefore you have mammon and you have malchus. So mammon beats out malchus, right? You can't get. We mentioned the concept of kimalev the rabbin. We've talked about when you have misa and mammon. So misa is more severe, so you get the misa and not the mammon. You don't have to pay your estate even after you get executed. Your estate is not responsible to pay out the money. When it comes to malchus and mammon, so Ula holds that mammon, like our Mishnah says, mammon is more important, more severe, and if you get mammon and not malchus. The Mishnah in malchus is talking about achosa bogeres, when she's just she's bogeres, so there's no nara. Only the whole din of 50 slaim, of 50 kesef, only applies when she's a nara. If she's a bogeres, she's already 12 years old in 6 months, so then there's no fine. So therefore, you're left with only one punishment, malchus. That's why he said they're lokin. There's other monetary benefits. We'll see at the end of the parak, right? Besides the knas, you pay boshes for embarrassing her, pagam. You ruined her lineage, right? People are not going to want to marry her. Whereas b'shota, we're talking about a girl who's a shota. The Mishnah in Makos is talking to the shota. She's insane, mentally deranged. She has no bosha. She's not just like she's not embarrassed to do stupid things, do weird things in public. Here also, you're not embarrassing her. There's no pagam also because no one's going to want to marry her anyway. Ika Sarah, whereas it's still their Sarah, you're causing her pain. And where's the Mafuta? The Mishnah in Makos is talking about now where she was raped, but she was seduced, right? If she's seduced, right? So you still the same knas, but there's no knas over here because she's a bogeres. And when she's a Mafuta, she's kilu mochel. She waives all the monetary fine because she willingly does this. The word is hashas lahachi. Now once we're including Mafuta, I feel with him al nara. You didn't say the Mishnah in Makos is talking about which is a nara. Yisoma mafuta. She's talking about there's no knas because her father died. So father dies, so therefore the knas goes to her, and she's mafuta. She's seduced. She's waving along with all the other monetary payments like boshes and gam and sar. She's also waving. She's also being mochel the knas. So the Gemara Zalman Kasavar, we see Ula the way he answered the questions from Makos and Kesubos. Kasavar Ula kol malchus kol heichadika mamon malchus mamon mishalim milkal alaki. Right, when you have mamon malchus kidei rishasa, we're going to learn you only get one punishment. Which one do you get? You get money. You pay money, which is seemingly more severe, not malchus. Benale lulaha. Where does he know this from? Hagar michol bechaver. He learns from chol bechaver. When you strike your friend, right? You hit your friend. You wound him. You knock at his eye. I don't know. Machol bechaver diika mamon malchus mamon mishalim milkal alaki. Right. If you knock at his eye, you pay ayin takas ayin. You pay for the value of an eye. So. You don't actually lose an eye. Mamon mishal milkal alaki, right? You pay the money, right? That's what it says. Kol b'chaveru chayav b'chamish dvarim. The Gemara in Bava Kama, the 8th parak of Bava Kama talks about. But you don't get malchus, right? There's an isser, paying Yosef lakos. You're not allowed to hit your friend. You still don't get malchus for that. Av kol hichadik mamon malchus mamon mishal milkal alaki. We learn from there that that's generally what you do. Mamon is more severe. The word is malach kol b'chaveru. You can't learn from Chol B'Chavero because there, by Chol B'Chavero, it happens to be a more severe type of mamon where you're chayav not just for nezek but also sar, boshes, pagam, all these things that you're chayav and bittul malachos. The Gemara says even mamon lakul. If you'll say no, that really mamon is generally more lenient, right? Shegen hoter mikalav based, and you can't learn from over there because the reason over there you don't get malchus, or even when I say malchus is usually more chamer than mamon. You can't learn from over there because there's a special din that based in that's allowed to give malchus, right? Based in nothing to do with when you strike somebody. Anytime you're chayav malchus, right? And based in, it's relaxed. They had their based in doesn't apply. Paying Yosef lakos, so it doesn't apply to based in. They're allowed to go and give malchus to someone. What is in this Torah? You can't give malchus. No, the Torah says obviously the fact that the Torah says you can give malchus shows that the Torah says there's a kula over here. So you can't learn from there because either if you say it's the chumrah, it's different over there. It's a kula, it's also different over there. We learn from Edom Zomim. We're going to see when someone gives false testimony, and then they're found out to be Edom Zomim, meaning not that they say that the testimony was wrong. They just say it was impossible for you to give the testimony because you were with us at the time you gave testimony. You claimed to have claimed to have witnessed what happened. So therefore. It's your edus is null and void. So and you get what you try to be mechayev the person. So and there's a lot for the Torah to be in its own. So if you try to say someone's chayev money, right? He borrowed $200 from his friend, and if you're found to be in zomim, you're chayev $200 to pay to the guy that you try to lose him $200. So so the my zomim he kamamon malchus one mishal mikol laki afkol hechad kamamon malchus. Amon mishal mikol laki. When it's mali in zomim, you can't bring a proof from in zomim. That's special. She can't asrich and asra. Right, it's more chamo over there because Edom Zom, normally in order to be chayav someone malchus, you need hasra, you know, warn them. Here you don't have to warn them. You know, Mona Lakula, you'll say that normally, you know, malchus is more chamar and Mamon is a kula, which came also Maisa. The reason over there, Mamon is a kula, maybe over there is because they didn't do anything, right? They just spoke. They didn't do a physical action. So therefore, there's a kula over there. So either it's the chomer or the kula, but you can't learn from it in either case. Elak mar mitar vayu. So the Gemara said, let's learn from both Chol v'Chavero and Edom Zoma Sad Hashalash B'hen. What's the common denominator? The Ika Mamon Malchus, one B'Shalom Mikol Laki. That's true by both of them. Afkol Hechad Mamon Malchus, one B'Shalom Mikol Laki. We learn from there. Any case where you have Mamon Malchus, you pay the Mamon, not the Malchus. Mal Sad Hashalash B'hen, Shking Yishben Sad Chomer. Whereas you can't learn from both of them. It's another rejection, right? Basically the same rejection as before. They'll have a Sad Chomer, right? That by Chol v'Chavero, you're Chayav Chamisha Dvarim. Edom Zomim, we chayiv even without hasra, even without warning. You know, lakula, she can yesh behen sar hakal. And even say mom is lahak is lakula. The reason mom is lakula over there in those cases is because there's a special kula over there by Edom Zomin because it wasn't a ma'isa, and also over there, right? It's mutter by chol b'chavero. It's mutter for basin to give malchus to somebody. Ella, so the Gemara retracts. Ella ula top of lam basin on base takas gomer. He doesn't learn out of mamatzin. He doesn't learn out from comparison, a mere comparison from malachas in the Torah. He learns it out from actual gzeira shava. He had a tradition, takas, says Gemara, ksiv hacha, takas shar'ina. It says by ma'anis, a woman, right, or na'ara, it says takas shar'ina. Ksiv hasam, ayin takas ayin. When you're chol b'chavero, it says the word takas also. Ma hasam, amun mishal mikol lakli. Just like we learn over there, you're chayev v'chamisha dvar, mechayev be'mon, not malchus. Afkal hechad ikamamon malchus, amun mishal mikol lakli. It's gzeira shava. Therefore, we learn any takas. Anytime you have Misa Malchus, you get the monetary punishment, not the Malchus. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Yochanan gives different tariffs to the Mishnah and Kesubos and the Mishnah and Malchus. Even in Malchus, it's talking about his sister's Anara and the father's alive. Hizro. The question is whether there was Hasra or not, right? In order to get Malchus, you have to be warned over there. So therefore, in the Mishnah and Malchus, you are warned. And therefore, you get Malchus, not Mammon. Because when you're warned, Malchus is more severe than Mammon. Malkim le Rabbin, he's going to hold. He argues on Ula. He holds Malchus is a harsher punishment than Mammon. But our case in our Mishnah, where there's no Hasra, so there's no possibility of getting Malchus. There's no possibility of getting Malchus. So therefore, all you can do is pay Mammon over there. But if there was a possibility, if there was a Hasra, they told you don't rape this girl, and you went ahead and raped her, you'd be chayiv. Malchus also over there, in the cases where you violated your sister or you violated your wife's sister or something like that. One of the cases of the chayiv cases are mamzeres and asina, like the Mishnah says. When you have a possibility of paying a monetary punishment and getting Malchus, and they give you hasra, the harsher punishment is Malchus. No, the Rabbi Yochanan. Where does Rabbi Yochanan know this? Hamar Kra Kidei Rishaso. He says he learned it out. The pasuk says Kidei Rishaso. This is a pasuk by Edom Zomim. Mishum Rishach Hasam Mechayev Mishum Shtei Rishayos. Right. This seemingly maybe is the source for Kimlei with the Rav. I mean, also when you chayev Misa and Mammon, you get Misa, not Mammon. The Gemara didn't say that yet. The Gemara is really only learning Kidei Rishaso. So we'll discuss more. Maybe there's a difference possibly between Misa and Mammon and Malchus and Mammon. But Rabbi Yochanan learns it by Malchus and Mammon. You only chayev him from one Rasha, but not two Rishayos. V'samichlei Arboim Yakenu, right? And this pasuk next to it says you give him lashes. So therefore you see Kidei Rishasa, which one is the worst one? The Torah tells you which one is the worst one. Arboim Yakenu, you give him 40 malchus, so literally 39 malchus. So you give him malchus, that's more severe than Mammon. And the words are we find an example in the Torah where you pay money and not malchus. Maybe the Torah is only talking about you pay Mammon over there, but Rabbi Yochanan would really hold. Now, if there was a hasra, then you get malchus and not Mammon. Rabbi Yochanan himself said, if you inflicted a wound on somebody where the monetary devaluation that you did to the person is less shava pruta, Shavapruta, I don't know, 10 agarot, I don't know, or a penny or something like that. You scratch the guy. I don't have a Band-Aid. How much does a Band-Aid cost? If it's not a brand name Band-Aid, it's CVS branded. How much does it cost? Maybe less than a penny. I don't know. Look now with inflation, now it's probably like $1 a Band-Aid. I remember I was in America like 8 months ago. I was buying Band-Aids. I don't know. I bought like a CVS Band-Aid. It was like $10 for a box of Band-Aid. I think so. I don't know. Maybe they had some pictures on them as Sesame Street characters. I don't remember, but it was like $10. CVS, And then I ordered on Amazon. I ordered brand name Band-Aids, and I had them sent to Israel. I think it was cheaper than actually buying it in CVS in America. I have the brand name Band-Aid, Johnson & Johnson's. It's funny, like American products, at least when I was there 8 months ago or 10 months ago, some like toothpaste over there, the same toothpaste, the same tube of toothpaste in CVS in America costs more money than Colgate in Israel. How is that possible? It's an American product. It costs more in America than in Israel. It's kind of crazy. Inflation is rampant over there in America. I remember I was like, whoa. I remember going to CVS. I'm like, the bill was crazy, It's like dollars. We're shkolim over there, Shkolim is 3.5 shkolim is $1, It's like you pay 20 shekel for a tube of toothpaste. I don't know, 10 shekel for a tube of toothpaste. You're paying $10 for a tube of toothpaste, maybe more, $15 in America. I know it's crazy. I'm exaggerating. I don't remember exactly the prices, but kind of crazy. Wow. All right, so the Gemara says, so if you hit him a kasha, loka, you get malchus. Hechi dami. What's the case? He did lo asrube. If you didn't give him hasra, so he's not liable for lashes. Am I loka? He's not going to get malchus. Of course, he's not going to get malchus. He can't get malchus. The asrube must be gave him hasra. Time of the lace b'shava pruta. The reason that he gets malchus is because he's not responsible. You're not chayav for mammon that's less than shava pruta. A Jew who was mazik someone with a value, monetary value less than shava pruta is pater. Shava pruta is not considered mammon, both for geneva and both for hezek. However, you see from that it's dafka if the hakah was less than a shava pruta, but if it was significant damage, you pay money and not malchus. Those are exceptions to the rule. So we're going to see Adam Zom is an exception. Chol B'Chver is also an exception. Rabbi Yochanan admits that. In those cases, yes, money, even if you have hasra, mammon is more important, not more important. You get the monetary punishment and not the malchus. Same thing by Adam Zomim. So let's the Gemara explain. Where Rabbi says, the Mishnah Maseches Makos, doing Maseches Makos, you give testimony to a person that he borrowed money from his friend, $200, him to Zomin. They found out they were lying about this. You were with us. You couldn't have given that testimony. Loken couldn't have been witness to that. Loken Mishalman. You get Malchus and you pay money. That's right, Mayor's opinion. We don't seem to hold like that. You pay money, you don't get Malchus. So you see Mammon of Adam Zomin, not Malchus. But they call Loken Mishalman. Why don't we learn from that? Like Ula, right? Call Loken and Mashalan. Sorry, we never call Loken and Mashalan. Let's say like Rabbi Yochanan, right? If you get Malkish and Mashalan, Torah says explicitly, even though normally, like Rabbi Yochanan says, normally the more severe punishment is Malchus. I would think so. You get lashes on your back. It hurts. It hurts a lot. Whatever money you have to pay. I won't get lashes. It's punishment. It seems to me Rabbi Yochanan is more correct. It says you should do to him as he conspired to do against his friend. Why does it continue the next pasuk and say yad biyad lamali? To allude to the fact that we're talking about money, right? You pay out money and not the lashes. What's something you get from hand to hand? It's money. Where else say you get money and not malchus? It says when you hit your friend, when you chayav chamisha dvarim for chol v'chaveru, it says whatever you did, you should do to him. And then it adds in later, Ken Yinasin Bo Nesina. Why did it say Nesina? Nesina giving over. It's an allusion to monetary payments. So those are exceptions. The Rabbi Lai says. Rabbi Lai says by Adam Zomim, whatever reasons are Adam Zomim. You pay out your money, you don't get malchus. Normally, Rabbi Yochanan says as far as you get malchus and not mammon. Stay tuned for Enoch Ben Sia. I'm going to discuss further what exactly are Rabbi Yochanan and Ula arguing about are they arguing the very nature of Kimle D'Rabbanan State to coming up next.